Today, I'm a corporate consultant, but I also take executives to Africa on leadership development trips. I call them safaris for the soul. And on these safaris for the soul, we learn about different cultures and we use the world as a classroom. And through looking at different cultures, we learn about leadership in different cultures. And they take those lessons back here and use them in their organizations here. And one of the things that I really stress is what I call the art of inquiry. So what do I mean by the art of inquiry? The art of inquiry is a very simple process, not easy, but simple. It has two parts. The first part is asking open-ended questions. The second part, which is much harder for most people, is actually listening for the reply. If you start using the art of inquiry, you start creating ideas and collaboration and excitement and ideas. What happens when you use this? You get inventions, you get new buildings, you get new companies, you get everything that an entrepreneur dreamed of. And if you use the old, oh, you know, let's just answer that question, let's just move on quick, we have an agenda to get through, you actually start squelching ideas and you start squelching motivation and attitude and commitment to a project. Yet, asking questions, it's not natural for many leaders. Leaders are not born knowing how to ask questions. It's a conundrum because the benefits are obvious. You increase attitude, you get a collaborative effort, people are excited and motivated, and as Jim Collins says, you get the brutal facts and you get a lot of insights. So why is it so hard for all of us to ask the type of questions that leaders and entrepreneurs need to keep asking? A couple of reasons. I know the hotel school has changed, but when I was here, we certainly did not learn how to do this type of work. We had no role models. I would say right now we do have a role model in our president, but in general we have no role models for asking these types of questions and bringing in bipartisanship type of collaboration. The other reason that it's such a difficult thing for people is how we view ourselves as managers and how the outside world views leaders and managers. And the problem is, we're expected to know all the answers. And it's a little difficult to ask questions if you think you have all the answers and if you're expected to know all the answers because you don't want to look like a fool. But remember what I said earlier. The thing about knowing all the answers, it only works if you're in an environment that's familiar. And how many entrepreneurs are in a familiar environment? None. There is no business today that is in a familiar environment. Business always changes, there are always new challenges, and we are never in a familiar environment. So, although people are afraid to ask questions because they don't want to look stupid because they're supposed to be the CEO, they're actually hurting their company. And the last reason that people aren't very good at asking questions is we never learned how. Even if we want to, even if we read about Jim Collins' stuff and we're looking into it, we do the research. Until you actually know what type of questions are effective and what types are not effective, you just don't know how, and you end up making it worse. Like my father made it worse every time he would ask a why question when he was looking at my elementary school papers. In fact, that why question is so common, I want to spend a few minutes looking at it.